For 7 days, cabinet ministers, permanent secretaries from various ministries and members of the ruling NRM's Central Executive Committee convened at the National Leadership Institute, Kyankwanzi, to deliberate on how to improve service delivery. One of the issues that took center stage during discussions in the week-long cabinet retreat was the worsening problem of corruption, as ICT and National Guidance Minister Dr. Baryomunsi explains.
The insinuation that because there is a renewed fight, therefore government has just woken up is not correct. Government has been on the alert in the fight against corruption, but there is an observation that there is a growing tendency of indiscipline and impunity in the public service and the visible elements of corruption.
With government's renewed fight to address the problem, the retreat came up with a couple of resolutions, including scaling up automation of government processes, strengthening agencies responsible for fighting corruption through increased funding, amendment of the Anti-Corruption Act and other relevant laws, and government to start naming and shaming corrupt officials, and reviewing of the law on disciplining and sanctioning errant public officers, among others. Dr. Baryomunsi says another key resolution is the enforcement of the lifestyle audit that was launched by President Museveni in 2021, but implementation has remained a challenge.
Support the office of the IGG to have capacity to not only receive these declarations, but also be able to check them. In the renewed effort to fight corruption, this is going to be one of the instruments we shall use.
In order to address commercialization of politics, Cabinet resolved to make laws that would criminalize the conduct.
For instance, we may be coming with a law on campaign financing. How much should the candidate spend in a political campaign? That should be regulated. In many other countries, there are laws which regulate how much you can spend.
Over the years, civil society actors, election observers and other stakeholders have complained about the commercialization of Uganda's politics. Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama last week expressed concern over the same.
The National Consultative Forum came up with a proposal on curbing electoral financing. They made a proposal in the law, that creation of the law or enactment of the law, to restrict electoral financing. However, that law did not see the light of day when it was taken to Parliament.
The idea has, however, attracted mixed reactions.
Now, the law we need is a law that should be able to force the political parties and the candidates to declare the sources of their campaign money. The voters, the voters, have a right to know who are those deep pockets that are bankrolling candidates. That law should be able to put a ceiling on how much you should spend.
So it's a trend, and I think a law is very important to curtail this. I'm not so optimistic that it will be pushed through, because the NRM government, which has the majority in Parliament, has been at the forefront of commercializing politics. Because even the few regulations which are in already the existing laws, Parliamentary Elections Act, Presidential Elections Act, regarding using of money during campaigns, they have not been fulfilled to the letter.
Dr. Baryomunsi also said Cabinet resolved that early campaigns by some individuals seeking political positions should be curtailed.
So we would want to caution all those who have political ambitions to go slow on electioneering, on campaigning. The time for campaigning hasn't been officially opened, so please go slow.
So if you tell people that no, all political activities, all intentions of showing that you want to unseat the president or the MP or the LC5 should be done after the Electoral Commission, that means that you are curtailing these people's freedoms for 4 years of not participating in whatever way they choose, given that you've defined what you call campaigning. So for me, I think that is not necessary. It's prone to abuse, and it's at the moment it's not needed.
Only time will tell how far the implementation of the resolutions will go. Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.